welcome. My name is Christy. I am a professional dancer and singer on cruise ships. I just finished a show and I thought I could bring you along for a few days in my life, some port days and some performance evenings. Now tomorrow we are going to a surprise port that I don't actually know what the port is. We were scheduled to go to, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing this right, Le Havre, France, and that is the port that is the closest to Paris. So I was really looking forward to this port. We were going to go into Paris. It was going to be this fantastic, exciting day, but unfortunately due to strikes in Paris, the ship found it unsafe to port there, and we are going to do a surprise port. I thought we were going to do a sea day, so the fact that we're doing a port is absolutely fantastic, but I don't know what that port is yet. Jason, my husband, is the entertainment director here on board, and he knows, and he says I'm going to love it. So I'm going to go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow in a very exciting port, apparently. I'll see you in a second. Good morning from Amsterdam. This was a surprise port for us. I am so excited to explore this port. I think today's agenda is going to be taking a canal tour, lunch, and just exploring the city. Let's go. This store absolutely stole my heart. Unfortunately, there was no filming inside, but I did buy a ferry door to bring back home. We had lunch right off the square. I don't know the restaurant name, but I had a fantastic coffee and cheese sandwich. We're going to take a canal boat tour. It is 13 euros per person. There are no food and drinks included in this particular tour, although I know there are others that are. Let's go. Coming up right here on the right is Basilica of St. Nicholas, and he is the patron saint of Amsterdam. I feel like there's so many things that I think of when I think of Amsterdam, but probably the top two things are canal boat tours and bicyclists, and I thoroughly enjoyed taking our canal boat tour. It was a really enjoyable experience. I think if I went again, I would probably do a bougier canal tour. It truly did feel like sitting on a bus, but at the same time, we got a full taste of the entire city. And as far as cyclists go, they were absolutely everywhere, but honestly, what a cool way to commute around your city. I heard a statistic that most of the population of Amsterdam own multiple bikes, which means that there are more bikes than the actual population of Amsterdam, which is pretty cool. There were cars there, of course, but the majority of everyone was on bikes. I had originally considered renting a bike to get around town, but I am so glad I didn't in hindsight, because I am definitely a novice cyclist, and it's clear that the bicycle lane is a happening, hoppin' place, and that it's all locals on their daily commute, and they all have places to be, so a little tourist like me has no business being in that bike lane. I would recommend it if you would consider yourself an expert cyclist, but that is definitely not for me, and honestly, just crossing cycle paths at crosswalks was enough of a hazard for me. I had to look both ways multiple times and almost got ran over a few times. Back in the day, the wealthy people here constructing their homes made sure that their front doors were really big and their higher up windows were a lot smaller, as you can see, and effectively they're using forced perspective to make their homes look bigger, which is something they used at the Disneyland castle as well, so I thought that was a fun fact. If you take a peek at the houses here, you can see hooks at the very top above the windows, and that is because when they're moving homes, they don't use the stairs or the hallways to move their furniture. They use the hooks at the very top of the houses with a pulley, so your couch would go up on the pulley and then would go in through the front window. I feel like I should also mention that, of course, Amsterdam is famous for their red light district and the legalization of cannabis, but those things do not interest me at all. And if you're like me, then you can have a fantastic time in Amsterdam without going looking for those things. One thing I did go looking for was their cheese, and oh my goodness, was there a beautiful selection. I had a fantastic time picking out this really weird, fancy blueberry cheese, and I highly recommend. Thrifting here is absolutely elite. It truly changed my whole brain composition. Everywhere I looked, there was the sweetest thrift store, and I loved that there was such a culture behind it. There were so many young people. I can't believe I'm saying that. There were so many young people, but there were so many kids out thrifting, and you could tell that when they got out of school, they would go thrifting, and I think that was just such a cool cultural moment. We also stumbled upon this really fun square, and again, just thrifting was happening everywhere you look. Sir? Back on board, and I'm about to start my show prep. I just ate in the mess, and they actually had sushi, which is crazy. It was a big treat for us, and they had vegetarian sushi, which was fantastic. So my tummy is full of yummy sushi, and I'm about to start with my makeup. Tonight's look is a little more classic in terms of makeup, so I'm not gonna go too crazy. Plus, I'm running a little bit late. I usually like to do my makeup upstairs in the dressing room, but as you can see, I am in my bathroom right now in my cabin because everything was just right here, and sometimes it's just easier to come from the mess to go straight into the cabin. We have a crew drill coming up, which is essentially just a drill to make sure that we're prepared in case of an emergency. And I'm really not looking forward to it because literally you just go and you stand by your lifeboat and they check you in and scan your crew ID, and then that's pretty much it. You just stand there until everyone's been accounted for. So that'll be on a port day coming up. I'm not exactly sure when. I keep my lashes in the cutest little lash box. I got it with the Barbie ColourPop collab before the Barbie movie actually came out, like a long time before. And I was just so charmed by the whole thing. I love the packaging. I'm such a sucker for packaging. So we've passed mid-contracts, which means once you get halfway through your contract, you get a mid-contract evaluation. And once you get that evaluation, then you can bid on your next ship. So I bid on my ship, and I just heard back with a contract offer. I'm so excited. You bid for 3 ships, and I got my top choice. I'm really excited. So I will be back in the studios before you know it. I have a little bit of a vacation. Jason's plan's like the sweetest road trip. I absolutely can't wait for this road trip. But then after that, I'm back in the studios, back at it, so I can't wait to bring you some more content from the whole rehearsal process. Let me know in the comments if there's anything specifically you want to see about the rehearsal process. And this is my final look. I'll do a few touch-ups when I get upstairs to the theater under the heavy dressing room lights. But for now, I think we're off to a really, really good start. I need to spray down my wispies, grab my bag, and head up to the theater. The theater and I am so exhausted. Between our full day in Amsterdam and then 2 shows tonight, I am absolutely beat. So I'm going to head to bed, get some sleep, and I will catch you tomorrow in Belgium. Good morning from Belgium. We ported in, I'm so sorry, I'm about to butcher the name of this, Zeebrugge in Belgium, but we did a short excursion to Ghent. So this is Ghent, and I was so taken by the beautiful architecture here of the churches and the shops. It was truly such a step back in time. And they also had canals here, just like Amsterdam. So we booked a canal tour, and you'll see that in a second. When I think of Belgium, I think of food-related things. I think of Belgian chocolate and Belgian waffles, so we made sure on this trip to partake in both of those delicacies. We started out with some Belgian chocolate. It was super delicious. The real authentic good stuff is quite expensive, so I went for the more mid-range stuff, and it was still super good.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. Hello, Ramona. I mistook you for a dream. The engine glows, and I guess you always seem to know. Hello, Ramona. I push back the serious feeling. The end's unknown. To get back the life I used to know. All in this, I stand alone. show me where the end.
Thank you so much for joining me for these past few days. It's another show night, so I'm gonna go to the mess and then start getting ready for shows. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe if you are so inclined, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!
Where the ending goes. Honestly don't. I should be the last to know.